You might be wondering how to train an AI voice model. Luckily for you, I trained every AI voice model trick so that you don't have to. First, we'll talk about which AI voice model is best for you and why. Then you'll learn what kind of samples you need to train your voice, but only watch this part if you don't want to sound like a robot. I'll even tell you about the 3 kinds of samples that you need every single time you train any kind of voice. And finally, I'll tell you how to avoid the most common mistakes people make when trying to create an AI voice so you have a usable, realistic AI voice. So first things first, what is the best tool for training your AI voice? Now there are plenty of them out there. HeyGen is one. You've probably seen that used for video too. But after much testing, I can tell you unequivocally the best option is 11 Labs. They did not sponsor this video. They are literally just the best if you want to have an AI voice that actually sounds like you. One of the reasons they're the best is that you can upload more training. In fact, you can upload up to 100 samples. You can upload 3 hours worth of content, and it's really, really easy to use and really affordable too. AI voice training doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, you could get it done today. First of all, what kind of samples do you need? When we're figuring out the samples you need, we want to think about what are we going to be using this for. You can use your AI voice for a podcast, private podcast, presentation, workshop, training, an internal message to future you, voice messages to others. The possibilities really are just limited by your imagination. Now, if you're doing a presentation or an audiobook, you might want a voice that's a little bit more monotone. Now, I'm not saying to go in to sound like Ferris Bueller's Day Off teacher. I'm talking about just a little bit less animated. So an example of a really animated voice would be something like this. Hey everybody, I'm so excited to see you today. We're gonna have the best time in this training. It's gonna be so awesome. Are you ready to get started? You can see how there's a lot of inflection there. But if I'm doing an audiobook, for example, I might not want that. It might be a little bit jarring for people. And so instead, I might want to sound a little bit more like this. Hey everybody, I'm so excited you're here to join me today for this audiobook. You're gonna learn so much during this audiobook. Something like that is a little bit more monotone. We're still not flatlining. We're not saying, hey everybody, I'm so excited that you're here today. That's too monotone. So we want a little bit more inflection. But if you're doing like a presentation, a training, something that needs energy because you're gonna be selling at the end, we wanna have more of that inflection. Something like an audiobook can have less. In most cases though, you're going to want samples that are engaging. So here are the 3 kinds of samples that you wanna add in when you're training your AI voice. First, you're going to want to pull the training part from a recent presentation that you felt really good about. Don't pull the whole thing. If it was a 90-minute presentation, don't pull all 90 minutes. Go in and just cut out the pieces where you were actually doing the training. Ideally, you want a presentation that you felt really good about, that you enjoyed giving, that you were excited to prepare. This is gonna help you ensure the presentation sounds good, sounds like you when you upload that sample and create your AI voice. Next, you're going to want a sample that answers questions and has emphasis and energy behind it. You can pull from that same presentation if you want. We just want it to be its own sample. You want to choose a Q&A time where someone else isn't talking. So it should still only be you talking. If somebody else is talking too, it's going to kind of ruin that sample. It's going to make it hard for the machine to understand, is this your voice here? Is it your voice here? How is it supposed to sound? So you still want it only when you're talking. An example of this might be a presentation where you read the question someone asks in a chat window, but it's still only you that's answering the questions. The next kind of sample you're going to want is a pitch that has lots of energy, especially if you're using this for a presentation or a workshop. If you're doing this for a podcast, it might not be as important to have a pitch in there, but if you plan on pitching at some point in your podcast, this is going to be a great thing to have in as well. The pitch should have lots of energy, so this might be one where you record on its own. Mostly because a lot of times pitches will come at the end of the presentation. If you've done a 60-minute, 90-minute, even 2-hour presentation, your voice is probably going to be a little bit tired at the end, and you might be a little tired too. So the energy you normally have might not be there unless you practice it a lot and you have that energy going into the pitch. A pitch with lots of energy will make a huge difference when you're training your AI voice. Doing it this way allows you to get the most bang for your buck and really sound like you with the AI voice you've created. Now, there are a few common mistakes that you might make while you're creating this video. One is you don't put in enough samples. Now, I get it. It doesn't sound exciting to sort through samples and upload them. That might seem like it takes a lot of time. But I promise that when you're sick, when things are going on, when you're traveling and you want to get a podcast episode up, when there's something happening that's going to keep you from recording live, you're going to remember this video and say, I wish I had taken the time to upload my samples when Brittany told me to. Now, the other mistake people make is they're not expressive enough. They pull in samples from when they're tired, when it's the end of the day. You don't want to pull in samples like that. You want to pull in samples that are energetic, exciting, and have some fluctuation in how you're talking. Every time I've been sick, every time my voice has gone out, which honestly, as a mom of a pre-K-er, that happens way more than I expected. Every single time something like that happens, or I'm traveling and I don't have to worry about creating a podcast because I can just type it in and it'll create it for me, I am so glad that I took the time to do this, and you will be too. If you like this, you're gonna love the video I did on how to actually set up your AI voice using 11 Labs. Click the link to check that video out today. Now, this is just one of the many, many ways you can use AI in your business and in your life. And if you'd like to hear more about how you can do that, I have a list of 120 ways you can use AI today in your business. I've spent the last 2 years pulling this together, figuring out what's best, and only adding in the ones that make the most sense for busy entrepreneurs, especially busy parent entrepreneurs like you and I. I've worked on this for the last 2 years exhaustively, and it's yours for free. All you have to do is click the link that comes with this video and it'll go right to your inbox. Talk to you soon. I'm Brittany Long. Click the link that comes with this video today.